Hey guys, another one take review, and today I want to talk about the new Cate Le Bon album Pompeii. Now, to be honest, I haven't really paid attention to Cate Le Bon's work in quite some time. The last Cate Le Bon album that I listened to from front to back was actually Mug Museum in 2013. I also did listen to part of 2016's Crab Day, I believe that's what it was called, and I think that was the year it came out. That's how much I cared for that album. Honestly, I'm just not a huge fan of her work, even though I do appreciate her artistic side and whatnot, but the only reason I decided to check out Pompeii is because A, it had a cool album cover, and B, a lot of people were saying, oh, it's Cate Le Bon's best album yet, which, I mean, that gets said about every new artist's new album, but still it made me want to check out the album a bit more, and I'm glad I did. I ended up enjoying it a lot more than I expected. So firstly, as a vocalist, I do think Cate Le Bon could best be described as just normal, and I know that's a weird way to describe any vocalist of any genre, but really comparing her to her other art pop artists, I guess I should say, she kind of is very indistinct, whether you're comparing her to classic artists of the genre or more modern, recent artists. She just really doesn't stand out too much as an actual individual performer, in my opinion. The track Dirt on the Bed opens up the album. It has a solid but mostly unremarkable vocal performance from Cate Le Bon, and really the majority of the album kind of continues to carry that out, except for maybe a couple tracks here or there, like the very vocally impressive song Harbor, as well as the song Remembering Me, which has a lot of personality in it that I kind of wish showed through more of her music in general. But still, overall, I just do think that Cate Le Bon as a performer really just isn't that much of a standout artist in terms of personality, at least. I just don't think she has made as much of an impact as some similar artists with much more of a standout sort of persona. While Pompeii is very much an art pop album, I will say that its execution is a little more traditional mainstream pop in style, which isn't actually a bad thing because it's done very well and there is a layer of quirkiness and surrealism kind of plastered over it that makes sure that it is, in fact, a Cate Le Bon album and not just some random pop artist album. But at the same time, I actually kind of do think it benefits the album slightly. It just kind of creates a certain atmosphere about it that stands out among other Cate Le Bon albums that are maybe trying a little too hard to mix mainstream pop and art pop together. I think this has found a really comfortable line to walk between artsy and commercially appealing and sort of mass appealing. And I think Pompeii is maybe her most successful work yet in that sense. The major lack of immediate experimentalism here also does make for some really strong hooks and song progressions. You've got songs like Moderation that are actually really fun and enjoyable just from a casual listening perspective. I mean, I do think that this album, even though of course it's Cate Le Bon, an indie artist, it's not like this is going to make massive waves in the music industry or anything, or at least probably not. But I do think this has kind of a fair amount of potential to spread into a larger audience because there are some really catchy and fun songs here that are just really satisfying to the ear overall, and I do think that's in large part thanks to, again, that really perfect mixture of experimenting and just playing it safe. The instrumentation here is pretty strong as well. It's nothing to really write home about, but it certainly stands out more than Cate Le Bon herself. Weirdly enough, Le Bon is actually the least standout aspect of Pompeii. But anyways, the very kind of large and lush, but still synth reliant instrumentals here, they're solid. They're maybe a bit repetitious, and towards the second half of the album, they kind of start to blend together a little bit. But even still, songs like say French Boys, which is a massive highlight for me, just really have good instrumentals. They build a nice kind of worlds in and of themselves. They don't feel static, but they aren't overindulgent either. I will admit that I do wish there's a bit more variety throughout the album overall, but if you're cherry picking individual songs, the instrumentals are about as perfect as you can really ask for from an album like this. So overall, Pompeii is easily my favorite Cate Le Bon album I've heard. I haven't really cared for some other fan favorite albums like Mug Museum and whatnot, but I really enjoyed this one. I think besides an average personality, I think the instrumentals were great, production was great. Honestly, everything here was surprisingly fantastic, and there's some amazing songs here, and some of my favorite pop songs of the year so far, so I'm gonna have to give this 4 stars out of 5. I'd really recommend this, whether you're a pre-established Cate Le Bon fan, or you're just looking for some new artsy pop that's still, like, not super experimental. This is a great pick, in my opinion, so yeah, 4 stars out of 5, and with that being said, that is already the end of this review, and I will see you guys in the next one.